Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start the September 7th Redistricting Committee. I would like to call it to order. And the first thing we need to do is hopefully everybody got their minutes from last week. I would entertain a motion on the minutes.
Move approval, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to approve.
Second it.
Second the motion. Any question or discussion on the minutes? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose. All right, well, folks, we did a lot of work last week, and I hope we can do as much this week. Let's start off. We stopped at District 18, and Mike, if you'll pull up 18 and enlarge that for us just a little bit, and we'll start right there. I believe that's committee member Mr. McAdoo, County Commissioner. That's your district. And have you been over and looked over and tweaked it any more? Are we okay with 18, or do we need to go back in and take a look and adjust anything?
We need to adjust.
Okay.
The election administrator brought up a good point. That should be cut off. Totterton Drive should be cut off at Parkview.
Let's pull that up, Mike. See where that is. All right, there's Totterton Drive. We talked about that a little bit last week. And what part are you talking about?
Parkview Terrace should be the boundary right there.
Parkview Terrace, okay.
Which it was at first.
So put this back into 21?
Correct.
Okay. Mike, what does that do on the numbers there?
Next to nothing.
We did change that back.
Yes, sir.
139, 40, 141 folks there, I guess.
That's going to bring 21 more into line and adjust 18 out just a little bit, but they're all within acceptable limits.
Okay. And the reason we pulled that in because it dead ended over there, and we didn't really want to split that up. But you think that works better?
It works better because Totterton Drive on the other side of Parkview is nothing.
Okay.
Is that right?
It just runs into a dead end to a branch off of Todd Lake.
Okay. Well, there's 141 people there somewhere.
That's
but...
across Todd Lake.
Okay.
Across Todd's Lake area, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
branch off of Todd Lake.
Okay. Okay.
Nobody's living on a houseboat or anything.
Not that I
Is
know
there
of.
anybody who lives on that little
Houseboat?
dead end part there that's in the 139 section?
No.
Okay.
So that's why it doesn't matter.
Well, I just didn't know how, distance wise, you can't tell from that map what the scale is or where the houses, where the homes are on
I
that
know.
street, so.
I don't even know how it got on there, but it was there.
Okay. All right.
Okay, that's better.
Well, if we don't have any objections on that, we'll make that a change. And do you want, let's get all the changes in that 18th before we officially do a motion and on the change.
Okay, we were looking at County Farm Road.
Do you want to save that as a change
Yes,
then?
sir.
Because we don't,
I need to
if you'll do that, Mike.
I've done that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to throw you off there. I want to. Okay, where are we talking about now?
County Farm Road.
County Farm Road.
And the only reason I brought it up, at the top of the 18th district, you had two people, a little tip, and you said, well, we need to take that tip off so we can square it off. Then we come down to the bottom portion of 18th district. Do the same policy hold? Do we want to square it off or what?
Brian, do you still have that pointer? No, there it is. Right
There it
there.
is, right
Sorry.
there.
You want to? It's the top right button right there.
Right here. That will square it off. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Up at the top, can you show us the top?
Yes, sir.
Okay, at the top, hold back up.
Right in here?
Yes, we had right there, we had that little tip,
Right.
and you said you wanted to square it off,
Mm-hmm.
so you took that out. So we squared that off.
Okay.
So will the same policy hold for the bottom portion? Over
That's-
18.
That's what I discussed last week, because that's the way we had treated all the other districts up to this point, is we had been we were concerned about how they look and trying to make them, to their appearance compact. And of course, we've got that little, what appears to be a little finger there that goes across at the bottom. And I believe that's what we were talking about too, as far as making it look better or appear to be more
It wasn't
compact.
anything, was it?
What's that there is,
That was part of census block, I believe is what you
Right.
said. Yeah, yeah, so.
There's 42 people somewhere along that
Right.
census block that's shaped funny.
Mhm.
The only problem I got with it, that's moving out of the six, and I think you're squaring a whole section off right there, myself. But,
Well,
What is that numbers, what's the numbers do on that, Mike?
There's,
Give us, shade it like you normally do there and see what that, give us a total, see what we got working with. If you don't mind, sir.
What, communities of interest, because that there that's in orange now is in the county, correct?
yeah,
And whereas the other part on up's all in the city.
Didn't someone
Yeah.
indicate that the old boundary was the city limit line? That's why it kind of
Mhm.
joined up through there. But of course, the city limit lines change.
the city limits is right where you got it up yonder now, it ain't changed, right there.
I'm just saying that they do change. So setting the boundary by a city limit line may not be the best way to go as far as just
May
trying
not be the way to
do
go,
that.
because if you move it over, Mike, so,
which way, this way?
correct, on down. Okay, where's the city limit in this area?
It's not in that area.
I know. And
You
you got
come,
the
yeah, no, the city stops right yonder,
right
City
here.
goes like this.
right there.
So you're giving the 18th district, you still giving the county.
No,
Some of that up by Elam Road is city.
That's up here.
Yeah.
Yours is a blended district.
You
Very
can't-
blended,
you-
But
but
down by the nursing home, right here with the 107 in this area, that's county.
that's the only
Yeah.
thing the county, cause it's a nursing home. Is that,
So that 107 is the nursing home then, right?
I mean, he's talking about that's a finger up yonder, you can pull up other districts, I guarantee you'll have blocks up in there just like that right yonder. I mean,
What did that do, Mike, on the number there?
It's 219.
Well, if we change that, we got Savannah Ridge and Titan Circle area up there are all new homes. The others that are in orange there are all older homes, correct? What I'm getting at
It's not
is compactness or neighborhoods what we said was most important. That's all I'm asking.
done it both ways.
I believe being compact was higher on the list than,
Yeah,
than
neighborhoods.
communities of interest.
Well, it is for some people.
We're trying to get a good happy medium there and not split up the subdivisions as much as possible. I mean, we're all having to tweak, every district in a way that's been different in the past. So we're.
Hey, well, Mike, why don't you tell us again what the boundaries are that we're supposed to consider, that being roads, power lines?
Any of your
streams?
census block boundaries that are streets, streams, power lines, part of the census block boundaries do include city limits, but it is discouraged by not only the Office of Information Resources, but the State Election Commission
currently in
to
your
not
district?
follow
It's currently-
the city limit lines due to the fact that they do change.
Mike, on the 408 block, 408 block, there's a road jutting out on the top of that. Do people live on that road? That might be a reason why we wouldn't do this.
Which road?
408.
Right to the right of 33.
36 down,
Straight down.
Right
right
here.
there. That block.
Yeah.
No,
there's a
I'm,
road at the
I'm
top.
talking about 30. You see the 233s to the right. There's a
Yes.
road that
Yes,
jets down
that's
right
correct.
there. That's what you're talking about.
Actually, that's the city limits. This is all inside the city, and this is all inside the city.
So that line coming down beside the 33 is not a road, or it is a
This
road?
right
Which
here?
road connects right there? Where the
This little
roads come
line?
out into
Yes.
it?
Let me turn the roads on so you can see those. They are on. Let me zoom in closer.
Wes.
It is a road right here.
It's gonna be Joe B. Jackson.
It's gonna be Joe B. Jackson.
Okay,
County Farm Road now.
what about this boundary across here?
Right, that is also a road that's Joe B. Jackson. Let me turn off the thing here and you can see that it's Joe B. Jackson all the way down to the city limits here. The city limits were brought into here to provide sewer for this area through here as it was developed. This area here is county, this area here is county. This jut in here was an annexation to bring the sewer into this area here and extend it across over into here.
Okay, Dorothy Drive, is that part of a neighborhood or is it by itself?
It is part of this subdivision in here.
So we're not cutting up a.
It's not part of the one to the north there.
These are all older
They all,
homes
they all
through
one
here.
subdivision right there, yes.
These are all recently built homes through here. These are older homes and these are older homes. All your older homes are out in the county. All your newer ones are inside the city.
Well, here's the way I see it. First of all, I could see voting for that change because it draws the lines, it makes it more compact, and it doesn't split up a neighborhood. But we have a commissioner sitting over here who really wants it still in his neighborhood, in his district. So we need to decide as a committee which is more important.
I don't want to sound confrontational at all. I'm going to say that before I say what I'm going to say, but the districts are inevitable that they're going to change with the amount of growth we've experienced. And I know this is just one small area that we're talking about, but you know, commissioners may change at some time in the future also. I know that we were going to consider incumbency as far as where the commissioners reside within the district to try to keep them in their numbered district. But there are 21 commissioners, only 7 of whom are on this committee. I think with where we started last week, I don't recall whether we asked any particular commissioner in this room what he or she thought about a particular district just solely because it was their district.
I disagree with that statement.
And I don't want that to sound confrontational.
No, but I'm going to echo that because when we were looking at the revisions to my district, you know, I gave up a neighborhood that I have a lot of friends in. I have an aunt who lives there. You know, I didn't say, no, I want to keep that pocket because, you know, that's a good neighborhood for me. I saw the greater good, that it made sense, that we had to make changes and my district needed to move to the west. So I didn't even bring it up as an issue. So from that standpoint, I agree that, unless we're going to sit with 21 commissioners here and let each one of us, duke it out over particular, streets, I think we need to step back as a committee and look at our overall objective and say what makes sense purely from a redistricting standpoint and the goals that we set out as a committee.
Well, I'm gonna say this, then this is all I'm gonna say. When we was talking about the 6 before, there wasn't a problem.
The
And
6.
then when it come up, Mr. McIndoe, Commissioner, he's the one brought it up, that he thought that ought to be moved into the 21st. Well, I've got as much right to say it ought to be in the 6th as he has saying being in the 21st. Now, however high it falls, this committee votes, I ain't gonna have no problem with it.
We brought,
Make that understood when we leave out of this room. I'm gonna be with whatever the committee does myself.
the first thing
I
we,
may not vote that way, but I'll be whatever committee,
The reason I brought up the
whatever
point,
committee does.
The reason I brought up the point, you know, I'm not looking at no special people down here, you know, is that we've been trying to square off the districts.
Consistently. We're trying to be
Consistently. And we're going by appearance. Now, if you go up here to the top of the 18th and cut off a tip to move 2 people to square it off, why don't we come down here and square it off down here? That's the only thing I'm saying. As far as this area here, I doubt if I know an individual that live there. But that will square it off.
I agree with that. You want to square it off?
Well, the first thing we did last week was talk about District 4 and 6 with the John Bragg Highway and the tweak that we did there in District 6. But we didn't overall approve District 6. We're going to look at it tonight. So we moved right into District 1 and went through those, and then we ended up at 18, and that's where we are tonight. Now, one point of light, though, is that as a committee, we got to get along, and we want to do that, and I think we're doing that. But also, I don't want to take this presentation to the County Commission of 21 and it be a knockdown, drag out in there about something that we've done in here. We're being open. We want this to be open. We want every commissioner to look at it, every school board member to look at it, every road board member to look at it, because that's who it affects. That's who it affects as far as district lines. So we want everybody in agreement. We're all having to adjust because there is change through this whole thing. There has to be because of the numbers, and I think we're doing pretty good right now. Commissioner McAdoo, what is your request here to keep it, to take this line, or to no, to leave it like it is?
Well, basically, we need to square it off, but you brought up a good point. Brought up a very good point, is that we hadn't discussed District 6 yet. We may square this off right now, and then when we discuss District 6, District 6 may have to have Savannah Ridge for all I know. So, as far as following what we've been doing, why don't we go ahead and just square it off?
Okay.
And then when we come to District 6, we can look and see.
We're going to be looking at it next.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and square it off now.
All right. Let's make that change then.
Just a quick question. Would that be splitting up a neighborhood if we did go up to Savannah Ridge? I'm just purely asking.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Savannah
I
Ridge,
just used that in as an
Okay.
example because Savannah Ridge is a heavily populated subdivision.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, we're going to make that as a change. What else in 18? Mr. McAdoo, did you want to bring up?
That was about it. We brought up about Parkview, and we brought up about squaring it off. We brought up about the 2 that we moved in the tip, and
then the deviation, I see.
And we brought up about this portion down here in the county is basically the nursing home. There's a couple of houses in there, but yeah, that's about it.
Okay. All right, if that's all for 18, I need a motion on 18. Let's get a motion on the floor if that's all the adjustments that you want to do. You want to make that in a motion?
Awesome.
Motion to approve 18 as we've tweaked there. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Questions or discussion on 18?
So just the main reason we've done this is compactness is what it
Yeah,
comes
just
by.
square it off, basically.
Okay.
For now, but you can look, move it up, Mike, for just a little. Move 18th district up. As you can see, when we discuss District 6, you see how it's looking. It may be that you square it off and give it to District 6. We don't know until we discuss them on, people in that district.
Any other question or discussion on District 18? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose?
No.
We have one opposed. Okay.
Mr. Sandlin, before we move on, I wanted to bring up something that we worked on last week with that was brought to our attention about Blackman Farms and Blaze
If we
Drive.
could, that's on down the line here a little bit. Let's move into right here.
The only reason I suggested we might look at that now
Uh-huh.
is because it may affect, any shift that we may make may affect some of the contiguous districts that we haven't looked at yet.
Well, I don't think it's gonna mess with 6. And
We also have another issue.
we're gonna move on to 3, and then we're gonna go to 20. So that's where your situation is in 20.
With the Blackman Farms
Yeah.
area.
Let's stay at this task, and then I think we'll get it. We'll get it. Okay.
Let's set some time aside tonight to look at that.
We're gonna try to finish them all
Okay.
tonight. That's our goal. Looking at number 6, Mike, if we can go in on it.
Actually, we gotta move way out.
Okay.
Rural districts, and is one of your probably largest districts.
What are the numbers on it?
12.8 something.
It is 335 people over for a plus 2.68%.
Commissioner Joe Frank Jernigan, that's your district on 6. We adjusted last week, and then we just adjusted something back just a second ago. So, what's your comments? Which one?
Pull back up there where,
County Farm Road,
where Mac was talking about the nursing home.
right there, 107. Okay,
How many people's in that right there?
It's 107.
107.
If we do that, it goes up into,
Well, let me get through here. That's the reason they put that in there, Mac, cause that many people. I wouldn't care if you was talking about a while ago drawing that across. I wouldn't care if that's what you want to do, but if you take that many out of there, you're taking 107 out of yours.
Well, we can't afford to take any out now.
That's what I'm saying. That's the reason that you was talking about. That's the reason that comes down like that. You was talking about a while ago, squaring that off.
Mm-hmm.
I just explaining that you couldn't. I mean, I say leave just. I make a motion leave 6 like it is, like we got it now.
Can we go over to the east a little bit? Can I see the pointer?
Yeah.
There's a spot by I-24. I'm just curious why it's on this side. Is this it?
It's the census.
Zoom back out for a second. I think it's this, but zoom back out for a second. Let me look at it. Yeah, I guess that was it right there. I was just trying to figure out why.
It's Joby Jackson Parkway,
Okay.
a major thoroughfare.
It's fine.
And it's industrial.
what about that spot up by 21 that we had talked about the other day? I can't remember how many was in that. Have we adjusted enough to where we could possibly take that out on a,
You talking about here?
yes,
We can look at it.
but I don't think we've looked at 4 yet, have
I
we?
think it'd take
We have
too many
not.
out.
No, fours tonight also. We've got,
I
yeah.
believe it-
So we
can
need
look
to
at
wait and talk about that when we talk about
Yeah.
4, right?
Yeah.
I believe
All
it'd
right.
take too many out of the 4th. It wouldn't matter to me.
We'd have to gain some from somewhere else for 4.
Mhm.
I think when we look at 4, I'd like to look at that spot, see if there's anything we can do there.
I'll second.
he made a motion a while ago where we had something going on there. Are you still with your motion to approve 6? We got a second?
Yes, sir.
Any questions or discussion on 6? The way it's district out right now. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose? All right. We're going to number 3. Number 3. haven't looked at 3, and this
We
is,
adjusted it there some though.
Yeah.
didn't
we did a little
Because
bit,
that-
we did a little up here, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did, let's see,
Leanna
that was the
Community.
first 7 that we looked at last Wednesday. And the way we're doing this is if what we've had done, if there's some tweaking that we need to look at, the commissioner's taking a look at it. Commissioner Will Jordan has got the map on that, and he has met with Mike today. Mike, show us the changes that the commissioners
This is a
suggested
two-step,
on that.
this
See
is a
what-
two-step process. To keep all of the Leanna community together, Commissioner Jordan wants to put all this in 3 and give all this to 19, which would put all these people over in this Old National Highway area, which they've been historically near each other,
Okay.
and put all the people in Leanna together, or not all of them, a lot of them.
Can I address?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, this doesn't by any means put all the people in Leanna, but there's some people right there that have been voting in District 3 for generations, and they're within sight, literally,
Yeah.
of the community center where the voting has historically happened. And this draw would just keep some of those people that are so close to the voting precinct in District 3. And the group over across Highway 41 on the Chicken Pike area over there has never even been remotely close to District 3.
Right.
And my district, or the District 3 is proposed, was jutting out to take in that area there to get the numbers up. And that would just be a switch. It'd still be from District 3 to 19 and both sides. So I'm just basically trying to help some of my constituents out that would like to keep the vote in their same area, and probably help the people up there that aren't my constituents now having to come all the way over to District 3 to vote. And that's kind of a dog leg coming across 41 and the train tracks over there. And I just thought it, and after we pulled it up on the computer, it looked like a fairly feasible plan. Of course, I would like to have a lot more District 3 left intact, but, you know, change is here. You know, the population has changed and stuff, but I would appreciate y'all's consideration of this small change. So
That makes sense. What, does this right here, Will, that doesn't split up
That's
subdivision?
along the river.
Okay.
That doesn't split up
Okay.
anything at all.
Okay.
It actually follows the river.
So that's your boundary then, is the river right there?
Yeah, that would keep it with the river. The other has to come off Thompson Lane to get to different neighborhoods over there.
I see.
I make a motion, we accept those changes there, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion to accept the changes. We have a second.
I'll second.
Second the
That we
motion.
wanted you to do anyways.
I wanna
We
see
open for
the
discussion.
numbers.
Yeah, what does that do to the numbers?
I'm trying to catch up to y'all.
Okay.
It's the first time we got ahead of old Mike.
Yeah, I tell you.
He's usually ahead of us, so.
He's had to go to a masseuse and get that finger, you know, for that click, you know, get that.
The
You
mouse
know, he's
thing.
constantly doing this number now.
Can we get that 0 and 4 out now with making that change, or making 41 the boundary, or no?
Yeah, I think we probably can. If you want to make 41 the boundary, it's just going to take a little
That would just
extra
make more
work.
sense.
I'll get it. Let me show you the numbers as they are right now.
Because that's going to the railroad right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 is minus 2.5,
Mhm.
and 19 is minus 1.24.
It's well within the bound, well within the deviation allowed.
Yes, sir.
Pretty much a wash to move those
Yeah,
people back.
yeah.
And if we take these other ones here and put them into 19,
I don't think there's anybody between the railroad tracks.
I think there's 4 people. And actually, I drove back from Laverne the other day, and I saw the apartment that those 4 people are in. It's on top of a auto repair place through there. You can see all these little tiny blocks in here that I think we're gonna have to leave that one as is.
Yeah.
It's a railroad track.
Actually, what we can do is we do this.
He's moving over.
It'll make it nice and square and even if we do it this way, without changing any population except for those 4 people, which is not gonna change anything statistically.
Do you want to add that into your motion?
Absolutely.
Okay. And to the second, who seconded that?
I did.
Did, okay.
If you looked at, we went from 124 to 253 instead of 250.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion there?
Can we just look at 3 and 19
Yes.
from a zoom out on it?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Just,
Absolutely.
Just to see how they do. It's got to be better though.
That looks a lot better. Lot better.
This little jut in here is due to the river and the road, which is, again, one of those acceptable things because of the way the blocks are designed.
There's 2 people in that block, something like that. Very
Yes, sir.
heavy number.
We had, if I remember, he lives in the school board member that lives in District 3. We didn't
No,
do anything
he's
there.
several miles away, he's a couple of miles away from these changes.
And you said, Mike, right down there at the corner then of 3 and corner of 19 then, there's nothing we can do about that right there?
Not really, if we look at it.
Because that's the census 12.
If you start selecting these, then it's going to make this little point that comes out here that's following the city limits. If you try to get beyond the city limits, then you start getting deep into the really populated areas. So your best choice in this case is to keep these 2 people in 3. And I see one little tweak here that we need to add. It's a 0 population tweak, but right here,
Yep.
14 to 3. Just because it's not following the roads.
And so this right here, it wouldn't do anything keeping that? Like
You'd be
all that
following
would?
some city limits through there.
Okay. So that's better like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I would recommend this.
All right, any other questions then? We have a motion and a second on the floor to approve 3 like it's been tweaked. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose? All right. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Well, hey, we appreciate it. That's the
Don't
way the
envy you
process
guys
works.
a bit. Don't envy you one little- Good evening.
But 19, we just made a change.
Yeah, that'll go with 19 right there. We've already done 19, so.
Look, you made a change, you let the vote on it.
Well, we tweaked 19 off of 3. I guess we need to go back up. Well, we'll do that at the end of the night when we've made all the changes.
Don't leave that right there. I know if we're gonna,
Let's do it now.
if we're gonna vote on the 3 or whatever, that's fine. I just don't wanna leave that yet.
Don't leave 19?
Yeah, don't leave that picture, that map.
Okay.
Are we through?
Yes.
With 3? I was just looking at 19 and 14. What did we change on those two? Does anyone remember? Do we know what we changed the last time on 14 and 19?
And 14 and 19.
I'm just struggling with some areas, and I know that, I don't know that anybody said anything that I disagree with, really, particularly on either side you said. If someone has traditionally voted in one particular place, I kind of agree with what Commissioner Jordan said, but Ms. Lester's right too, and Mr. Jernigan's right, and Mr. McAdoo, everybody's right. Can some of you be wrong? We've got an area here in 19 and 14 that has traditionally been in that 19th district. But
You moved 350 a while ago.
But if you get in the city of Murfreesboro where it can't grow, and you're limited on what you got, because those and also the district in the center of Smyrna are the ones that lost or didn't have the population, and that's why you had to start spreading out.
well, I certainly don't want to fight old battles, and it wasn't a fight anyway. And at some point, maybe tonight, and certainly next week, we're going to have to, and I think Commissioner Jordan, he's gone, isn't he? I'll talk nice about him then, since he's gone. I mean, that was handled very well. I mean, he made his case, and I thought it was very, and we're going to have to listen to more than one of those.
Oh, sure.
And we've asked for some input from various people, whoever wants to give it, so, okay.
Well, not to jump the gun about the end of the night, but really we want to ask the OIT to put on their website, comments that they want to do. We want to get those comments for next week, and also, if we can finish this tonight here, get a copy of this map that we have done in everybody's box, as far as the 21 county commissioners box, and for them to start looking at, if we can get that far tonight. Hopefully we can, but if we don't, we don't, and we strive on forward. But
School board and road board too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those two other boards, and to get feedback from them. So
Okay.
if we've got anything else to tweak or something, we want to do that next Wednesday.
Okay.
Is my game plan.
Okay.
That's
So Chairman
what I'm
Sandlin,
hoping.
Are we opening up the, where we were tabling the comments and stuff on the website, so we're opening it up
Well,
next week?
it's up to
now?
the committee, but I'm going
Okay.
to bring that up at the end of the,
Okay.
at the meeting and see if you want to do that. So, all right.
One
We're
quick question
yes, sir.
for you.
Yes, sir.
What's in my mind is basically what we have done so far, everything we've done and set up, we can justify. And
Yes.
there's logical reasons for
Yes.
everything we did,
Yes.
keeping in with the guidelines that have been given us then.
Yes. Y'all were right. Let's go on to number 19, and since we changed it right there, let's get a motion on the floor there in a second if you want to, or let's talk about 19. We've made a movement there from 3 to 19. So if there's adjustments to 19, let's hear those. If not, I'd entertain a motion on the changes.
Can I see the numbers on 19 again real quick?
What about 2 or 3 people? You know, ain't that what you suggested about the railroad track?
Okay.
I'm saying, Dave.
Well, that from 41 to the railroad was an additional change, but that was all within that same.
I was
Yeah.
looking at the area where it meets 11, and I know we've already finished that, but I was just looking to see if there was any adjustments that needed to be made there, because 11 kind of juts out a little bit, and it looks pretty dense, like we might be splitting neighborhoods up there, but they're both under, so I don't know that we really pick up anything to go back and revisit that.
Okay. Entertain a motion on 19.
Move to approve. as it is.
Motion to approve as it is. Do I hear a second? Second. Any other questions or discussion from anybody? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose? All right, let's jump into 20. Was a little bit of a fringed upon there last week, and we didn't actually talk about 20, but we've looked at some bordering areas right there, and the Commissioner Gooch, who's the commissioner in 20, has talked to Mike and looked at it a little bit here and made some adjustments. One was about splitting the subdivision, which we had it before, I think, by the creek.
Yes, sir.
And we moved it, which I like to do, by the roads. My personal little 2-cent little pet peeve is, the power lines and the rivers. Even though it's legal and we can do it, I just like those road boundaries. But we moved it, whether it was my suggestion or somebody else's, and out of the creek area back to the road, and I think it did District 20 a disservice on that. So we haven't looked at that yet, but I think that was his tweak there, moving it back to the creek line. What was that creek?
This is Puckett Creek.
Puckett Creek. So that's the change right there. On to 16, which 16 we were talking about, and we approved last week with that change. What was there another change, Mike, that he talked? That was the major one right there.
That was it. He expressed some interest in possibly putting the rest of Blackman Farms in his district, but to encompass all of that area
Takes it over 5.
without taking this, number one, it's a lot of population, and
Yeah.
two, it would
Can't do it.
split another neighborhood to do that.
Right,
And he didn't want to do that.
okay. He's still looking at some stuff and contemplating some stuff that he might have a little heartburn on still, and not for sure, but he may be back with another change, and so will some other commissioners may have. I mean, I'm not saying that, but we've got to do the best we can do and present it and see what else there is that we need to change. But this right here is on the table right here. What's the committee think about this?
So,
I'd like to make a motion, we make that change, and we can have, if we can get a second, we can have some discussion, since I'm the
Okay.
one that made the motion the other way.
All right,
Second.
made a motion to make this change here. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Now we have questions and discussion.
That bottom left-hand corner there, can we zoom in on that a little bit? And see, is that
Right in
still?
here?
Mm-hmm. I know there's a 0
Yeah.
population, I just didn't know, it's kind of odd the way those census
It-
blocks are drawn.
The creek boundary is right through here,
Mhm.
and the census block is actually following the city limits through here.
Okay.
If you select this, you're going to follow the city limits, and actually, this is all city limits through here. It's a little path they made through here.
I guess it's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
since
it's
0.
yeah, it's really inconsequential. The ideal thing would be to have it follow the full creek boundary down through here, but it doesn't go all the way through there.
Right.
Probably should square that up though. I mean, I don't know. What,
If you put it here, you still have a notch here, and if you select here, it's going to have this little thing jutting way out into here.
okay.
It's half a dozen of 1/6 of another.
Okay.
so what we're doing is roughly putting 300 from 16 back into 20.
Yes.
No, from
No,
20
from
to
20
16.
to 16.
Yeah.
keep the
Oh, that
neighborhood
way,
together.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
It's actually going the other way.
Mine was-
We went to the road last week,
Mm-hmm.
and actually Mike had it originally the way we're moving it back to,
Okay,
with the creek line.
all right.
I like it too, Jeff, the other way with the road, but I mean,
I like
it's
the
just,
road
you
too,
know, it doesn't work that way.
Well, and with the creek boundary and the floodplain and so on, there is no room for future expansion to the west for Blackman Farms. So that won't change. That part will not change.
That's a
in the
good
future.
point.
Well, except
That's right.
They don't have all the lots filled in there, right? You got the,
Mhm.
but there's still not gonna be that many.
Well, all it takes is money and time and dirt. All of a sudden, you don't have a creek there anymore, and it goes another way. And I know some of the unbelievable things I've seen have gone on
Yes.
in building. But anyway, all
Well,
right.
if we fix this, what will the paper report? I mean, all the good work we did last week, and their headline was the only accidental negative that we had, I think, during the whole meeting. What in the world are they gonna report now?
We can ask
Well,
him.
Mr. Evans, we're gonna make another mistake somewhere, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
He knew Jimmy Evans.
If we don't, we'll
knew
admit
Jimmy
one.
Evans would make a comment about that, and that's why.
Yeah, you just, you did it.
okay.
We gotta have a little fun.
We can't have, no, this committee has no fun. We're having no fun. All right, we got a motion and a second for this tweak that I'm calling it. Any other discussion on this motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose? All right, it's just like that. We change it from one district to the other, just like that.
Thinking of another road.
And Mike, there wasn't any other, I thought there was another change that he was wanting. No? Okay. So as of right now, as District 20 is presented, I'd entertain a motion there.
What are the numbers between 20 and 9?
That little section that we talked about.
And I'd be glad to give it to 20 if that would even them up a little bit.
9 is
Not the people, just the road. I want the, the
We'll
boundary.
have
9 is
to-
over by 3.2%.
That would put them way over.
20 is under by 0.02.
Oh,
If you'd like, we can explore that and see what it does.
It's gonna put 9 under.
I believe you're right, because there's a lot of people in here, but
But
we
could
can always
take it
look
from
at it.
somewhere else?
Well, while we're there, why not? Let's look at it. Just to Burnt Knob, right?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, okay.
Puts 20 under by 6.68, put 9 over by 9.68.
What do,
What are their bordering
Yeah.
districts? What are their bordering districts? look
Yeah,
like?
I think we did look at that last time.
Yeah, I believe we did too.
I couldn't remember the numbers, but they were up there, yeah.
9's bordering districts are 10, 11, and 19. And then 20 has 16, 13, 7, and 8.
Pull that big chart up that you have. It shows us all the numbers.
who was the Laverne? What number is that? 11?
It was 10 and 11.
We would have to take it from, I think 11 would be the only one we could take some from, because the other one uses 24 and some major roads.
Well,
Or 10, sorry. We would have to take it from 10.
10's already under.
Ian's already on
yeah. I appreciate y'all's concern there. I'm okay. We'll let's get through the process here, and if we come up with a miracle move, then hey, we'll try that. But I don't see anything happening right now. It's just you got to have some discomfort, or we hadn't done anything, you know. So, all right, 20 as it's presented. Entertain a motion. We don't have one, do we? I didn't think we did. Do I hear a motion on 20?
Motion approved 20.
Motion to approve 20 and a second. Any questions or discussion on 20? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Number two.
Another big one.
And Mike, if we need to do anything else, I'm looking at 2, 4, 7, 8, 21, and 13 is the ones remaining. If we need to go in another direction, I want to stay on. This is what I've put down. If 2 is workable, let's jump into 2.
That sounds good, sir.
Okay. All right. Looking at 2.
Looks good
2
to me.
currently has minus 0.25 population. If you look at the boundaries, it's following the east fork of the Stones River down to Las Casas Pike, down Compton Road, up 231, up West Jefferson Pike, Mona Road, and I would forget one of these road names. J.D. Todd Road, down Barrett Road.
I carried Jack a full map of that to give to him about a week ago, and he said he didn't have a problem with it.
There was something right there that you just went by. It's like 6 people or something, kind of split the road or something. What was that? I didn't.
We moved that last time from when we did the little adjustments down through here to 3.
J. Todd.
We went all the way over to Lebanon
Okay.
Pike instead of
To
staying
231. That's right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right. That's
And
right.
this is a block design issue
Okay.
here, so again, that's not an issue.
Okay.
Move we approve 2, Mr. Chairman, as is.
Second.
Motion to approve 2, and we have a second on 2. Any questions or discussion on District 2? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose? Okay. Coming on down south to number 4. District 4.
District 4's numbers, it's the highest negative district we have, but it is still within the 5% variance. Not by much, but it is there.
We're close, ain't
On the same
It follows
page.
John Bragg
You
Highway
can't take that out. No way.
down to
Absolutely
Weeks
no way.
Lane, across here to
He needs
Minute.
more.
Mount Herman Road, up to, well, let me zoom in here. Double Springs Road, Main Street, up Rutherford Boulevard, to Pitts Lane, down to Jarnett, up the Bushman Creek, the Compton Road. I see something.
So it comes out of DeJarnett and goes to the creek then?
Yes, sir. I see some little minor changes here. There's 0 populations that are not following the streets.
Right.
I'm just going to go ahead and adjust those right now.
Okay.
If that's all right with you all.
But they're, so it's got room for growth. We're just right there at the max almost on the other way though.
For purposes of discussion and not making a motion, if I'm not mistaken, we've got every district that touches that one pretty much in compliance.
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree that one is very close, but it is in compliance.
I carried Robert's one just like I did Jack 4 before. And he looked at it and he said he didn't have no problem. I move we approve 4.
Second.
Motion to approve 4
A second, Mr.
and a
Chairman.
second to approve 4. Any questions or discussion on 4?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the numbers on 21?
It's minus 3.49.
Okay.
And we have good solid, on that west side of 4, we had good solid boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And Keaton 15 was another one that didn't have that many in it. It was a negative deviation, I believe, too.
All right. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose? All right. 4 is done. 7.
Gary's a mess.
This is a district that has shrunk dramatically, mainly due to the population growth in Murfreesboro on this side of town. If we start at Veterans Parkway
This
and
is a
follow
mess,
Franklin
isn't
Road
it?
down to
This
Rucker
is a
Lane,
mess.
down to Confederate Road, to the Puckett Creek. This is a city limit line. We can follow the creek line down through here with no change and actually better compactness. I would recommend that
Let's do that.
with this change right here because it's all 0 population. And it
Take
would
it
also,
into here.
yeah,
Is that floodplain?
yes, ma'am. That's all floodplain.
Okay.
We're gonna go from 13.
First time I seen unknown on
Seen what?
to 7.
there. It said unknown there.
Oh.
That right there.
road.
It's all 0 population. It won't change our statistics, and it'll actually make it look better. Something we want to look at. Now, this is following city limits also.
We could bring that on down, right?
Well, that's what I'm going to look at here. I'm just trying to make sure I got the right mouse clicked here.
Is that a road?
Take
This
that-
is not a
take that in
road
right
here.
there.
These are city limit boundaries that have changed over time, but the Census Bureau has still put them in there.
Really ought to square that up.
The only thing.
Well, the problem is you try to square this up over in here, other than what's here, you're going to vastly shift your population numbers
You could just take that 4 block though,
and put it over
Right.
into here.
or.
Yeah.
4 and the
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
And there's 0 to the left of it.
But
Yeah, you
then
wanna
you're
keep
gonna
that over
split
here
up
Keep
to
that
that.
in
Yeah, 'cause
that.
that-
a
Yeah.
possible growth, neighborhood
Ah.
growth.
It's Muirwood. Yeah.
We put this into 7 and go from 7 to 13. With this 4 here,
Yeah, because that's going to be built out.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot better.
And what are the numbers on 13 currently?
Sorry, I should have put it up here. 13
Just
is,
slightly under.
yeah, and 7 is still over.
And I'm on 2.
I'm going to save this.
Let's finish going around it too there after you save it, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Because that's 7 was the one that had it on 2 sides of the street. I mean, 2 is a kind of a little awkward.
It's a bottleneck there in the middle.
All right, continuing around. This follows the city limits line. Again, there's really not much of a choice in here. You're going to narrow down 7 too far. If you take population away from it through here, if you get population to it, it's going to be over your 5%. It comes down to Cason Lane, to Cason Trail, to River Rock Boulevard, over to Highway 99, following the river around past Riverdale, to 231, 231 down to Barfield Crescent, to Barfield Road, to Kimbrough Road, down to St. Andrews Drive, down Highway 99 to Old Salem Road, to Window Road, following a power line, and I'm not sure what kind of jag that is there and why that's there. The Census Bureau put that kind of line in there. We may want to explore this
What
as
if
putting
just
these down into here.
Yeah, just a quick, if you take that, can I see the pointer?
Yep.
This is just, I don't know, just my mind thinking.
Top right-hand corner.
There we go. If you go down through here, what is this line? Is that Kingwood?
This is Kingwood Lane here to Windrow Road.
If you go Kingwood to Windrow all the way across and put that into 7 and then take some of that other section out and put into 8.
Oh, we can look at it.
Yeah, because you can't add much without taking. You
That's
can't add any,
because we're
really.
both over.
Yeah.
We're both over. It'd have to be almost
Yeah,
an
so
even
you'd have to take out
swap.
That's talking about switching from
Yeah.
7 and 8.
Maybe zoom back
We're
out a
talking
little
about-
bit on that.
So where are you going to put something to 8?
You talking about this area here where there's 650 people?
No. I was looking at maybe this here. Well, no, wait a second.
Well, unfortunately, this is Veterans Parkway. This was put in after the census blocks were drawn. So if we go in here and we turn our streets off,
Oh.
you don't have a census block there.
That
All
would've
you've
been
got
a
is this
great
one
road
huge
to follow.
blob here.
So the only other alternative is back down where she was talking about the 5, 2, 3, 62, 21, 5.
But we can't do that because we're both over. And Gary
Yeah, that would
be-
put 7 over.
Yeah.
7 needs to go the other way, don't it? Because it's
Both
over
of
4
us
point
do.
something.
They got to give and take
Yeah.
those two if you're
Is
going to do
13
it.
over?
13 is under slightly
Because I'm looking at that box right at the top.
in here.
Yes.
Yeah, if you take all of this out of here, it's gonna, well, we can look at it and see. Let me turn the streets back on.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 800, 900.
That's a lot of people.
If you come through here and take all of this, we can see what it does.
Is that a neighborhood it's gonna split up?
Jeff, that's you.
It's gonna go
He's picking up.
from 7 to 13.
We can't do
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
It's gonna put 13 over.
And that looks like a neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Can you zoom out on 13 and see if there's anybody that needs to pick up? Because if I remember right, the ones to the northeast of 13 were under.
You've got 18, 19, and 20. 18, 19, and 20.
All under. If you wanted to do that.
18 down, 1, 5.
They're in the limit though, ain't
Yeah, but you can add to them.
You have very solid
Mm-hmm.
boundaries here.
Yeah, that's gonna be
on
Tough
30.
to do.
The only where it'd be on 20.
Well, since it's
Dip
mine,
it down in
I'm
there.
pretty familiar with it, so, I'm 13 is right at the number that it needs to be at, right? Is that correct or
Well,
not?
I mean, you wanna try to be as close to
Yeah,
12,605.
13 is less than 1%.
And so really what we're changing here or looking to help is 7 in some way. Is that correct?
Pull down
Just to
7.
smooth it out.
Yeah.
Trying to pull the numbers from 7 down to closer than less than 5%. Right now it's
It's never gonna be smooth,
0.15.
guys. 7 ain't never gonna be smooth.
Well, just trying not to put 13 over. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah, this would put 13
This
over
puts it over.
considerably.
Yeah,
I understand, okay.
but all we do, the numbers are okay in 7, 8, and 13 right now. It's just that 7's a jagged
It's not very compact.
area.
Just the way it is.
Yeah, on that particular one, that's,
But
with
it's
the
a-
population, that's gonna be difficult to.
The numbers are okay in 7?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
They're
Just barely,
acceptable.
but they are.
it's got good balance.
Solid boundaries too.
What's
Well-
that? What's that right there? What road is that?
That's Veterans Parkway.
Okay.
That's that new road going all the way around the city.
That's the one where that census block isn't drawn.
Right.
Yeah, right here.
Right.
If you recall about the first thing that
And there's a few in there.
Mr. Curtis was kind enough to put up was it showed, talking about now 4 meetings ago, it showed the explosion in the 3 or 4 different areas in the county where it had taken place. And that's 7 and 13, right in that area, right in, all the way out to the city limits and past it. Cason Lane, and it has exploded. And then they finished the house just while I was talking. It's out on St. Andrews somewhere. They're fine people, I want you to know. Right now. But it's, and the city limit will move. I don't think there's any question about that. It's, and I think that's, is 7, is that that's Commissioner Farley, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And this is his location right here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, if I don't hear anything, I need a motion
I would make one
on
other
some any other
recommendation.
suggestions. Yeah, oh, yeah, we was
Mr.
gonna look at
Chairman,
that point
Is
right
that
there.
we look
Yeah,
at this here.
That's right.
These are 2 different subdivisions here. This here goes to the end of North Walters Leathers Drive. I don't know what the Census Bureau was doing drawing a block boundary like this. This power line should have come right across like this. We are left with it to handle as we can. You can do one of 2 things. You can take and put all this in the 7th and probably put it over. Or you can take these out of here, split this subdivision, which already is split, and put it all into 8. 8 is
Over 3.
over by a little, but not as much as 7. It'll even them out a little bit. You're moving 76 people. This is a more defensible boundary. It's a overall creek and Jade Court and Jarrett Drive versus something that is, in my opinion, imaginary.
So you'd follow the creek up to Veterans Parkway or over to Jade
No.
Court?
Over to Jade Court.
And then take the east side of Jade Court then?
Mhm. This actually, I don't think is a block boundary here. If we look at the table of
There's no good
contents,
way to do it.
thing,
56.
we take the streets out.
Would it, for continuity, would you be able to pick up that 19 also, or now does it look like you're carving?
We could do that. You could take all of this right here, and it would be funny looking, but we could defend it.
I'm just thinking that way you've at least got both sides of that street all the way up.
If you could even, we start getting into this over in here, then we're gonna start really digging into the district. We really don't wanna go that far with
Let's
it.
see what that looks like, Mike.
Okay.
What that does to numbers and everything on back and forth.
And that other line is a power line, right?
This is a power line, yes, ma'am. We take these 2 here, we're gonna take 8 from 4.85 to 4.59, and 7, I forget what it's going up by, but it's 95 people.
Well, we've spread out our deviation by doing that.
Yes, sir.
But
It's still within the 5%.
Well, at least that imaginary line, as you called it, would be removed,
It's gone.
which makes more sense.
What do you think, committee?
I like that change.
If you-
There's really just no good way to do it, so at least we don't have an imaginary line.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What's all that subdivision?
Do you like it well enough to make a motion about it?
Is it gonna be, it's split, the neighborhood's split up either way, right?
Yes, ma'am.
There's no way around
Unless
it.
we pull those
No, we
56,
split up
then
then
it gets
and go
to
on
March
eight.
and Steve.
It's not split up that way.
Well, there is some people in here that are part of the neighborhood that lives through here.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
so.
We
But
have a
his-
motion on the floor to approve this change
I'll
right here.
second it.
We have a
can it
second,
handle the 56?
and now let's keep on discussing then.
No, I'm already almost at 4.8 or 5.9.
What would it do, Mike, if we grab that 56?
Gonna put her over.
Put her over?
Gonna be close.
very close.
It looks better. I like that look better than the
Where's
other.
the
Really?
streets? Can you put the streets on there?
Yeah.
But then it points out into the other, so
Eight's
it kinda
jutting
looks-
up then.
Looks better for 7, but it doesn't look better for 8.
The only
Yeah.
thing it does is
What you're doing here by doing this with 56, this right here down to here is a city limits line.
We're trying not to follow.
I'm
And
not
this
so much-
area is going to develop heavily.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you're gonna cause some confusion by following the city limits line.
What's it do
I'm
to
not
the
too-
numbers with the 56? Does it put her over? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's
Take
not
the 56 out.
take 56 back out. Our motion is on the 76 and 19.
Were you over or under?
Any other discussion?
Just like-
Not to push anybody, but any more discussion on this one right here?
Second highest.
Not anymore.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose? All right. That change is done, and that was for the whole set. Well, it's kind of construed as the change. Is there anything else in 7? Anything else in 7?
What's that little tip down there under 57?
That is Barfield Crescent Road and Barfield Road.
So all
Is
that's
that
road
currently?
road bound.
Right.
That looked like a zero.
There's a 0
Yeah.
there with the churches, right there downtown Barfield.
Mike, you may know this county better than anybody.
He knows every.
You may know better than the sheriff's
Every
department.
goat path, he knows it. What is that road, Mike? That's a path the goats use.
Yeah, that's really used to be a chicken house there.
Anything else on 7 while we're looking at it? Any other changes? Anything else you want to look at? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve and a second. Any questions or discussion on the motion for District 7? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose? Okay. 7 has been tweaked. 8. Miss Tiffany,
This
Have you
is the
had a-
second largest district.
if you had an opportunity to take a look,
This District 6 for size.
There's some things that would be nice to change, but there's really no way to change it because most of them follow major roads.
is this you here or is this you here?
So. Down.
Down here. Okay, we're in the green, aren't we? That's it's blue road board.
Mhm.
Okay. And we looked at something, putting that road board representative all over in that. So that was a little modification there to begin with, wasn't it? Didn't we tweak something like that on the front end?
No, I thought it was more.
Let's look real quick on him.
That's okay. I was thinking we put something together there to be to to keep it together, I think.
This needs to be
8,
an 8,
9,
9, or
10.
10. So,
Okay. Yeah. And her numbers, again, I'm sorry. Ooh, you're close.
On the bubble.
Right there on it.
If you could just zoom in the northeastern section. Just to make
This
sure.
area?
Yeah, just to make sure that all of those are major roads.
There you go.
Your district's
You
larger
have
than
a-
Rhode Island, isn't it?
You have creeks
It's
here,
getting smaller though.
park
That's true.
boundary here, Webb Road, Barfield Crescent Road. I see a little
Yeah.
triangle here that's, well, that's just a Census Bureau thing, I think. Not much we can do about that, yeah. That's where you drive down Barfield Crescent Road, make a.
It's called Meet Yourself Coming Back.
Yeah.
What are number 6's? The numbers on 6, honey?
He's over 2 something.
See that, Flossie?
He's over.
You'd have to,
What you'd have to do if you
You'd
wanted to move things around is
split a
take some from
subdivision
6,
if you
put
did
it in
that.
4, and then take some from 8 and put it in 6.
We've got good boundaries already.
I was just looking, if you keep going north, where you've got Barfield Crescent, I didn't know about that section there, but it looks like you're moving too many people. Like if you were to square that off at Barfield Crescent and try to give that to 6, it's too many people.
Yeah,
Talking
that's
about this
it.
area right here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's way too many people.
Yeah.
There's a couple thousand in here probably.
Yeah.
Rhonda, you're just a generous person, you know?
I'm just trying to make it look good. I'm very symmetrical, so symmetry is my goal.
Give them that group of people.
If you'd move on down. What were those lines down to 269?
This Walnut Grove Road to here to one of the creeks that runs down through here all the way down to 231. And then the county line.
There's really not any options. Unless, which I don't need anymore, so never mind.
Yeah, you need somebody to take some.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any good boundaries along the southern tip of 8 that you can give to 6?
No.
There's this
Unless you
right
went
here,
down
which is-
Cairo.
I don't think there's anybody in. There's 2 people here.
Unless you went down to
Give some of it if you
Cairo,
can.
over to Midland, Fosterville, and down Harrison.
You talking about right in here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would
Ooh.
be 59 people
That would help a
Plus
little
the
bit.
49.
down to here.
Wow.
Yeah,
All
that'd keep
this.
campground.
But then
around.
you got
Then
people
the
on one side of the
41.
street in one district, right, and on the other side of the street in the other. If you take
We do that now.
If you
Yeah,
did,
you had to
We're
do
not
that on
doing that.
231 there.
right now.
if you did all the way over to Harrison, I mean, you could do that.
Talking about
All the way
this.
down there, but you would have to take some out of Mr.
6.
Jernigan's and out of 6 and put into 4.
Yeah.
When you go put it in 4, then you're gonna get to jump over the side of John Drag Highway. It ain't many population up there.
Six.
To come on down Weeks Road or something
That'll leave it alone. Well, I hate for her to be right there on the, I know it, there's your line, 5%, you know, but
Now, one thing that's almost guaranteed with this district in the next 10 years,
what's that?
it's not
now?
gonna grow much. Because of the terrain for this area.
Well, I don't know. You take, if they do that sewer system in Eagleville, I mean, it's getting ready to, when the economy comes back, I mean, it's
That's
gonna grow.
possible,
It's
yeah.
gonna grow. City's gonna grow for sure, and, I mean, it's gonna be the new place to go, live.
Yeah, but 6 is gonna grow up there by Rockville School.
Yeah.
because,
Rockville School's in 8.
oh, it's an 8? Well, that's where it's gonna grow.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna be adding and
Because it's got sewer.
two really big places in her district, so.
I remember it was 8, got it in 6 now.
We're getting big town.
$2 general stores?
8
Skyscraper can't be far away.
and 6, 2.68.
106 million people. And a half.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I sense that the commissioner from District 8 is reasonably satisfied with what is up there.
It would take a lot of playing around with, and we really don't have time tonight, so I'll make a motion to approve it as it is for now.
A motion to
I'll
approve
second.
8 as it is, and a second. Any questions or discussion on 8? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose. All right, 8 is tweaked. We like District 21 and 13. You want to go to 21?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do 13?
13, because we've done everything.
We kind of looked at
Borders on
13.
it.
Yeah. We'll do 13. Let's look at 13. Commissioner, you had a chance to absorb all the tweaking around you and given to you and taken out of you. What do you think?
Yes, sir. I think 13 is in as good a shape as, you know, we can probably get it. I think there's probably improvement in all 21 can be made, but obviously, but I'm okay with 13. Casey Lane is a huge area, and it's made up of a number of different neighborhoods, and we really have not split, particularly a neighborhood that I know of. Maybe a little bit there, but I kind of feel like maybe what Commissioner Phillips was saying. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think we're okay.
What's the triangle at the top of 18 that goes into 13?
This area here?
Yeah.
This is the, where Samsonite used to come out to 99. And there are 5 people in that area.
A lot of small businesses in there. Goodyear has a big
Driver's
store in
license.
there. The highway department is in there, county highway department.
Driver's license.
Bank, yeah, driver's license is a.
We chose to follow the major road through here, which is Middle Tennessee Boulevard.
Right.
Well, Commissioner, if you're okay with 13.
Yes, sir. I'll make a motion we approve it.
Okay.
If approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 13 as presented. Mr. Joe Frank Jernigan. Any questions or discussion on 13? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose. And last but not least, District 21. Commissioner Shanto is here. Have you had an opportunity to look at your district and see what we've come up with?
Yes, I started learn a little bit, from the beginning. From today is my first time to, and also I asked Mike too about the numbers. So
What is his numbers, Mike?
12.
Under
Still
3.49. Yeah.
Is there any way to readjust or moving or changing?
What we got, Mike, is
Around him, you have District 4, which is already under.
it's pretty compact,
You
ain't it?
have District 6, which is over by 2.68. District 18, which is under.
Yeah.
So the only place you would have to pull from would be District 6. And we know 17 is almost perfect, we're not gonna mess with it.
He's, when you get in 6, he's already come plumb out to Wilson, way out in the country.
You're gonna just, if you change it, to me, you're just gonna be changing it to get some numbers.
Yeah.
And because you're
Yeah.
gonna be going down some roads just to get him some.
We got good borders on 21
That's
now.
what I was gonna ask. What's that east border and the southern
All right.
border?
Yeah,
See
that
how
right
that
there.
is? You've got Mount Herman Road here,
Mhm.
down to Wilson Overall Road, down Dilton Macon Road, down Manchester Pike, down to Parkview, to Bradyville Pike, to South Baird, up to Maine, and then Maine, on that back out to Double Springs, to John Bragg, back to Mount Herman.
Double Springs right in there.
Yeah.
That's okay.
What about those 3 people?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
There's
Double Springs goes
There's a
around and
creek.
puts
No, there's
3
a
into
creek
4, right?
there. That's a creek. Oops, sorry. That's a stream running down through there.
So Double Springs, that's not Double Springs right there?
This is Double Springs. The red line.
The way it's drawn,
Red
yeah.
lines were-
It's
Yeah.
following Double Springs.
Yeah. The creek is on the right-hand side.
Correct.
Okay,
This
yeah.
is, if we zoom in close.
Yeah.
The
There we-
wavy line is the
There we
creek.
go. There we go.
Come right down Double Springs.
Sorry for the confusion.
That's all right.
I do see some zero clean. Oh, there's a 2 here.
Howdy ho.
This is to follow Main Street. I would recommend changing all this to 4.
Absolutely.
Bring 4 from 4.85 maybe to 4.84.
We're here to serve, right? All right, you're gonna make that change, and anything else in there, folks, y'all see or wanna look at or discuss?
I'm just looking to see if there's anything else like that through here.
With the good roads, it kind of makes our job a little bit easy right there. But if you see anything, I mean, you
Right here.
let us know,
Between 18 and 21.
right? Just
These are all sources of city limits. It's 0 population.
just cleaning up the lines a little bit.
Yes, sir. And I would like to point out that us as a staff is gonna, before this is sent to commission for final approval,
Okay.
look really closely at all these boundaries to make sure there's nothing like these little odd
Right.
0 things that are gonna mess up
Okay.
finding where people vote and things like that in the future. Oops. I just deleted it.
Commissioner, do you see anything else that we need to talk about or adjust, you think? We'll be glad to do that tonight. If you see something later on, just bring it up to us, okay? Be glad to look at it and try to make it right.
Move it approved, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second? Second. Any questions or discussion on District 21? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose? All right. Folks, we have finished 21 districts. That's awesome. We ought to throw a party. My suggestion is that with the changes that we've done, and that we have the GIS department put us a map together with changes. 8.5 by 11, and we put it in everybody's hands that's affected, which is school board members, road board members, and county commissioners. And they'll have a week to look at this. Maybe that's enough time, maybe it's not. To look at it, bring up some issues that they have to bring back to this committee. We'll meet next Wednesday if that's
Why don't
that's
we do
okay.
2 weeks? Just to consider.
Well, the reason, if there's nothing really substantial about changing, I'll be prepared and ready to present it to full commission next week, next Thursday.
Okay, yeah, if we meet next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Steve,
And
can we look at those final numbers again?
yes,
Can you
yes,
bring those
pull those
up?
up. Pull
I'd
those
be
up.
happy to provide a spreadsheet of those final numbers also. as
Okay.
part of that packet.
That'd be great.
As long as we're providing, I think it might be a good idea if we had a bigger map than 8 by 11.
That's not gonna be
Well,
very
that's true.
detailed.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Some areas you really can't tell.
There will be a 12-foot by 12-foot PDF online for you to look at for detail. Just like
And
we have
that's
the
already,
budget.
you know, for them to go on, everybody
Right.
can go on and take a look at that if they want.
I think we need to include instructions with
We'll include
that.
an instruction sheet for the online
Yeah.
usage.
And as long as we're just discussing here, what I personally would like to avoid, although I love this type of meeting right here, this is fine, I think we've done really great. But I don't want to have this meeting on commission night. And be
Right.
be tweaking and tweaking and
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and one
Yes, sir.
commissioner standing up and whining and complaining, and the other 20 of them just
Well,
have no idea what he's talking or she's talking about.
My thought,
We
and
need to do
maybe
that before then. That's
Yes,
my
sir.
point.
Yes,
On
sir.
next Wednesday when we need to do that.
my thought is if we have it in everyone's hands a week, and if there's some issues, which they can, and they have been able to this whole time, be able to go to Mike's office or anybody.
It's been
Barbara's.
online too, everything.
It's been
we
online. If there's issues to come before them, we can head those issues. We can talk about those and work on those next Wednesday. And if we're not to the point to present it to full commission, then next Thursday, we're not at that point. But if we are and we don't have much, then we'll present it. And there may be some issues that come up in the county commission. And if it does, then they can send it back to us and we can work on the issues that they have.
If you look
And,
if you look them numbers now, there's 19 commissioners within 12,000 all the way down through there.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The only ones less is 4 and there's one over 8. The rest of them is 19 within 12 something. That's pretty good from where we started.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
About as even as we can get.
That's right.
Well, when you put it in this perspective, and what really opened my eyes when we started is when it's not just placing the commissioner in the district, but it's also placing the school board representative in the proper district as well as the road board member in their proper district. So when you do that, there's minimal tweaking that you can do, even though we've done a lot, I think.
Yeah, if we
with the-
eliminated the need for incumbency, we could probably make some nice squares, I'd say.
Right.
Question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I'm not suggesting that.
I'd just like to, if the group, and I'll go first, but I've had, I don't know, in the last 2 weeks, maybe 8 calls or emails, whatever, from commissioners or constituents. Does that match up with about everybody else, or have you had any? Have we had much input at all?
I've had 5 or 6 calls.
Yeah, I've had very few.
Not really complaints necessarily, just
Questions. I
Yeah,
just had
Questions, yeah.
Yeah.
Take a look at
Questions.
this,
Yeah.
take a look at that, you know,
Yeah.
kind of thing, yeah.
Pretty much everybody went online after I told
most people have contacted me are not so concerned necessarily about their commissioner or road board or school board member for that matter, but they're more concerned about where they vote. And that's not on us. That's on somebody else. I know y'all take care of that.
That's on us.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want you to know, the way it stands, I went from 4 schools in my district to 0. That's how close they are.
Yeah, that's right.
It was-
We had 16,000 when we started.
Yeah, that's
How are we going to evaluate any sort of citizen feedback? Are we going to?
Well, and that's something I wanted to bring up. Let's do this right here. We have gone through 21 districts. I would entertain a motion, even though we've done each and every one of them, as we've presented, as we've tweaked them as a whole, and have that as an approved map.
3.0.
The 3.0.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Any questions or discussion on that? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose? Okay, we have 3.0 that will be our presentation map, basically. And then what you brought up, what we're wanting to talk about is the GIS department had made it known to us that they could put comments on the website. We haven't released them to do that at this point. So I think we need to do that. It only gives a week for comments, but if we've got any, we'll hear from them, and we'll deal with those next Wednesday.
Well, my
if that's
question is,
available.
how would those be forthcoming? Because it might be nice if
It's
this,
basically name, address, and then their comment.
right. But
So-
here's what I'm thinking is it might be nice if and I don't know have any idea how much feedback's going to be forthcoming.
Oh, if the committee gets in.
Yeah, if the committee gets it, you know how they forward to
Or
us
get 'em, yeah.
from a commission standpoint. As soon as they come in, if they're flipped to us, that way everybody hears everybody's comments, and we're not sitting here reading them all together for the first time.
Right.
Well, we gave them all.
Is that available?
Our email.
Barbara,
Sure,
Mike?
we can.
Yeah, he
I'm
should
sure
be able
we
to
can
flip
forward
them to
those
us.
on.
Okay.
We've got all your email addresses.
Okay.
from
That'd be
the
great.
side.
That'd be great. I don't think that's a problem at all.
So you just forward them to us if they come in?
I'm pretty sure that that's okay. I'm not the one that usually handles that, but I'll check with Brian.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I made one negative vote tonight, and that was on the 18th. I'd like to withdraw that and make it a yes.
Okay. Well, you just approved the whole thing, so I think we can take it as a yes if that'd be all right. Yeah. So we've all, as a committee, as unanimous,
We've been
made
pretty
a
unanimous.
unanimous vote to approve that map right there.
Yeah.
3.0. So,
Oh, there's
I think we did all right.
Big problem. The colors for the district that I live in is ugly. That cute green up there. How did I get in?
disagree. I don't think that's
The
true.
state set those colors.
he's wanting some kind of LSU or something, probably.
The state said-
Oh, you want Virginia Tech colors? That's what he wants.
I don't know, they picked the colors and they matched the chart that's in the thing, and we couldn't change the color of the chart, so it would have continuity. We left it the same
Being
color.
green is a very big thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so the state set those.
I like it. I like it.
Committee, if we could, I'd entertain a motion on the OIT being able to get the comments part on our website.
So
Moved. Second. Any question or discussion on the comments page being opened up?
Can we
If
tack
not,
on to
I'm
that,
sorry?
can we tack on to that a recommendation that OIT forwards them to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's part of it.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Okay. Any other question or discussion? And if they can forward them to us, they're going to. So. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All that oppose? All right,
next meeting.
that's good. Next meeting is
Commissioner.
Wednesday. Is that okay? Yes, sir.
Could I go in another direction just a moment?
Yes, sir.
There, a number of us attended the Tennessee County Commissioner Association meeting this past week. I guess I'd pass this along. There's a lot of information that probably we could share at the proper time, and it's not. But there were a number of counties there, about 10, maybe 10 counties, and something like that. And about half of them were through with this process. Lincoln County in particular. But I'm going to defend us a little bit, and I did at the meeting, but it took them one meeting. So now that I said that, and there was practically no opposition to anything, there was just no problem. Now, they have not experienced any of these counties the growth that this one has.
That's exactly right.
And
All
that's
10 of those
that's
counties together.
Yeah.
and I know that Commissioner Allen and I discussed this a year ago. This is everything we do, isn't it? Runs up against growth, whether it's schools or roads or redistricting or anything else. Thank you. Next meeting?
I agree.
Wednesday?
They didn't have the growth. We've got the growth.
That's right.
And so it's taking us a little longer. Even though we're in our fourth meeting, some folks may say that's not enough time. Some people might say that's too much time. But we did it at the pace that we could move through, and
It's
hopefully.
a lot less time than I think was originally projected for.
That's true.
Before we got started, wasn't it?
That's true. So we're talking about next Wednesday on a meeting. Is that next Wednesday okay with everybody? 5 o'clock still?
Wonderful time.
5 o'clock? 5 o'clock we will meet then next Wednesday. Anything else to come before the committee? Did I miss anything, Barbara, Mike?
We were gonna make 11 by 17s. Everybody kind of expressed the.
Okay.
11 by 17.
Do you want those as, of the individual district, or do you want the whole, are you wanting the whole?
Whole
The
thing.
whole,
You know, for
each individual.
for those 21 districts, it would probably be better to have that big size in the proper district, because that's what that district person is going to be consistent or interested in, you know, in their each district.
Yeah, I agree.
So number one, we'll have an overall like that, and then we'll also have number one blown up with the roads, just like we've seen it with the numbers. And can you put the block, whether positive or negative, the chart
Maybe a
in there, the
separate
variation
spreadsheet
chart?
with all the numbers.
Well, sure, that'd be fine. While we're cutting trees,
We're keeping
we'll
one
make sure we get enough information in there.
I
And then, like I say, they can go to the website and pull it up.
Absolutely.
They can come to your office or call you for an appointment and look at it too. So,
Yeah, please, if anybody wants to come talk to me, please make an appointment, because I'm trying not to have people overlap and try to give you your full attention.
we don't want to get one of those ticket number, take a number and hope, wait. So,
I think it'd be proper to say too, that just as a courtesy, for a road board member, school board member, or another county commissioner to make their suggestion, to comments, whatever, to us before next Wednesday, so that we have time to do something about it.
Absolutely.
It's all transparent.
Absolutely.
It's all right here in front of everyone as it should be.
absolutely.
And then maybe we can move on Thursday night. I think that would be.
That's true.
If that's possible, I think we can do that.
And we need to try to get them to the school board members and road board members. Okay. Great. Anything else? Man, that was super duper.
Move we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn
Second that.
and a second.
There we go.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you for that second,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner.